everyone, and welcome to Book Study 17 of Unfolding Consciousness, Exploring the Living Universe and the Intelligent Powers in Nature and Humans, written down by Dr. Edi Bilimoria. We're going to be doing something a little bit different this week, so here we go. Unfolding Consciousness. What is the point and the purpose of this particular collection of archaic wisdom? What is the point? I can only share from my own personal experience and my own understanding. So this week, we're going to change things up just a little bit before we delve further into Edi's explanation of the real invisible man. There certainly is one, and it is covered in here. And the possible fulfillment of John Lennon's lyrics, which are imagine no religion. Imagine a world with no religion. Therefore, there would be no division, only the ancient teachings, the perennial philosophy, simply being applied by each and every one of us unto ourselves, and are trying to be the best humans we can be, working together to ease the unnecessary suffering of all beings on our planet. Imagine. No priest, no hierarchy, no gurus, no goddesses, or man-made organizations. No churches riddled with superstition, fear, ignorance, and greed. Imagine the amount of comments I get here and across the other platforms of there is only one God. Only one God. There's only one God, one absolute God. And to that, I ask them, which God are you talking about? Which God are you referring to? There are over 4,000 organized religions that we know of, religions on this planet, over 4,000. And in that 4,000, there are thousands of branches of Christianity alone. So which God is it? We have been fighting over this since the beginning of time. We have. And omnism, the term omnism, which was coined, which means that there is an understanding that throughout all of the religions, there is some truth, but not one religion has all of the truth, omnism. It has been said that humanity alone is the true source of evil, and the chief cause of most evil is religion, under whatever form and in whatever nation. That was Master K.H. who said that. The wars, the torture, the horror, the annihilation, simply because we wish to force our understandings and beliefs upon others. How do we have the right to dictate what radiates from another's heart? How can we do that? When will we stop? The same can be said in the spirituality and New Age world. In my personal experience, time and time again, many so-called spiritual organizations are rife with those blinded by their own light. And what Dr. Edi Bilimoria, Edi, dazzlingly describes as self-appointed prima donnas made of paper mache. Touché. Though there are some good-hearted people, some good-hearted souls with loving intentions in these religions and organizations, I have found through my own journey and experience, which is full of crushing mistakes and ignorance and poor choices, that it is simply not possible to find a spiritual solution outside of myself. It is not possible. So, what is the point and the purpose of these ancient teachings compiled so brilliantly, so perfectly in Unfolding Consciousness? Why am I doing these book studies with you? In my understanding, they are instructions. They are instructions for us to learn how to successfully navigate life here on Earth. And I'm not talking about the earthly self, the status of our earthly personality, the romantic love that we crave, that we think is the end of all things, wealth, fame, or physical beauty. There is so much more to us than that. So why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you watching this video? Why are you a part of your particular family? Why do you live in the location that you do? What are the current circumstances that right now surround you at this very moment as you watch this video? Science has brought us photos from the James Webb Telescope. Now that came out last summer. When we see that there is far more to our story and all of what we perceive to be absolutely crushing, hugely important, consuming trials and tribulations are actually taking place on a tiny little blue dot in a sea of eternity. Is there not a universal harmony far beyond what goes on in our human minds? And why do we believe that we are the one who is in charge of controlling all of that? That is such a painful illusion. Unfolding consciousness, what is the point and purpose? Therefore, we spend a majority of our very short time here in this physical body in agony, in anxiety and fear and worry about what life is doing to us. Life here on earth is an extraordinary opportunity, and we have a responsibility to engage and learn and evolve. And I have quoted many times on this channel and across the other platforms that when things are difficult, we're learning. When things are good, we get to rest. And that cycle never stops. Everything is cyclical. So many of us believe that this is all that there is, this physical world. And at physical death, we stop existing. We cease to exist. It was great psychological pain that led me to discover these teachings years ago. Why was I hurting and riddled with so much fear and worry and shattering heartache? And not just me. Why is there so much suffering here on earth, period? And by suffering, I mean this is outside of physical or terminal pain caused by injury or disease. I'm talking about the psychological suffering of the mind, which we all go through endlessly every day. Unnecessarily. The Buddhists teach us that it is attachment that causes suffering. And it's true. Suffering comes from wanting things to be different than they are at the current moment. And everything is always changing. Think about that. That's in these ancient teachings. It is also true that it is not the external circumstances, other people, or events that are causing us this pain. It is our thoughts about those things that are causing our suffering. Think of it right now. What is something that's bothering you right now? Even though that circumstance is taking place at this moment, what is it doing to you at this very moment right now? I'm thinking of mine. It was our mortgage. Are you sitting here watching this on your phone, safe and warm with food in your belly at this moment, in the now? Think of your bank account. May be drastically low. You may have lost your job. A cherished friend has said something really crappy to you and hurt your feelings. Your mortgage has gone up. You're being evicted. Somebody you love has passed away. Or even nuclear war has been declared. Okay? It's not those things that are causing you suffering. It is your thoughts about those things that torment you. It's true. And we have the ability to change our thoughts. This is our own living hell, if we allow it to be. We have no control over anything other than ourselves. That's it. Only our thoughts, our actions, our reactions, and sometimes our environment. So why don't we finally go within and do the work to overcome our lower selves and finally find some peace and happiness and calm, though the outer world may be completely chaos. To change the world, we must work to change ourselves. You've heard that. It's attributed to Gandhi. It's ancient. There is much work to be done. So unfolding consciousness, what's the point and purpose of this particular text? Near-death experiences, thousands upon thousands. They're online. You can find them everywhere. They're coming through all the time, every day, new ones. They are a modern-day validation of these ancient teachings. It is fascinating when they describe the world, this world, as the dream. And this is not real. And beyond, when they transition, that is home. That is a place of peace beyond understanding and indescribable, unconditional love. And then the return to the physical body feels like squeezing into a two-dimensional, tight, painful, heavy shoe. Can we not then contrast and compare the perennial philosophy, which is the commonality that runs through all of the world's religions, sciences, and philosophies? Why don't we run that past the information coming through today? The information coming through today. Edi explains it in these texts, the NDEs, the OBEs. Edi covers how occult science can explain what mainstream science struggles with, the nature of experience, near-death experiences, and then some. Can we not begin to apply, practice, and become these teachings? Imagine how different our world would be. These are instructions. It is sheer madness how many of us live, trying desperately to control what we cannot. Our whole lives, anger and fear can be useful spikes of temporary emotion to help us avoid danger. But many of us remain in that state for far too long, and it is horrifically destructive. I share this with you from my own personal experience, my ignorance, and my own wrath and anger, and fury and my efforts to overcome my lower nature, which it's always in practice. I'm practicing this all the time. I've never mastered it. I work to be just a little better than I was before, and I try to do my very best. That's all any of us can do. The study and digestion of these teachings is part of the journey, but it is the application of them in our daily life in every situation. That is essential. That's what we're here to do. Here's the instructions. Pain is the usher of wisdom. Pain can come from mistakes. Are we supposed to get everything right from womb to tomb? Did you pop out at birth, grab the car keys, and just take off? No. We evolve and we grow at our own pace, and maybe that's why you're here. And that's why I'm here. Why am I here? I'm here because I recognize the importance of these teachings. I recognize them. I wish to share them. Blavatsky has been quoted as saying, "Do not be afraid of your difficulties. Do not wish to be in other circumstances than you are currently at the moment. For when you have made the best of an adversity, it becomes the stepping stone to a splendid opportunity." We are here to learn. And meditation, that's great. Calms the mind, the incessant chatter, to look within, but often we do it like a physical exercise routine. We just do it in the morning, then we go back to our daily life. We return to the madness of a million scattered thoughts, and then our suffering returns. Why don't we then take these instructions and use this to find ways to access this peace through surrender to what actually is and in letting go of what we cannot control? We are not our thoughts. We are the thinker. We are the one witnessing them. We are all part of the universal consciousness. Like the drop from the ocean is not the entire ocean, it is indeed a part of the ocean. Edi quotes Erwin Schrödinger in here, and Erwin said, "The mystics of many centuries, independently, yet in perfect harmony with each other, have described each one of them the unique experience of his or her life in terms that can be condensed in the phrase, Deus factum sum, I have become God." Now, the definition of a mystic is a person who seeks by contemplation and self-surrender to obtain unity or absorption into the deity or the absolute, or who believes in the spiritual apprehension of truths beyond the intellect. And that's you. If you're here, you are a mystic. Unfolding consciousness. This is the instruction manual. All of the videos that you watch, all of the books that you read, including this one, all of the classes, the study, the yoga positions, these are all exercises in helping us to understand ourselves through the intellect. Remember the ancient aphorism, man, know thyself. Okay? So you don't have to have a near-death experience to access the wisdom and the knowledge that is received there. No one can teach this to you. You can't learn it through the intellect. But if you are willing to try through the study, the digestion, the application, and evolutionary understanding of this perennial philosophy, the archaic teachings that did not originate with Edi or any author or any other human being. No philosopher, no teacher, no master, no avatar. They did not come up with them. They are as old as time itself, and they belong to each and every one of us. Through their application, self-transformation and transmutation is possible, and we can experience a life of freedom, of purpose, and peace if we are willing to try. To me, this colossal work by Dr. Edi Bilimoria encapsulates them with brilliant understanding and explanation. It is unfolding consciousness, exploring the living universe and the intelligent power in nature and humans. And I always close by telling you, if you were to meet Edi, he is an incredibly intelligent man. But in my circles, I am 56 years of age. I have never met anyone who has put something together like this, who is free from ego. It's not about him. Otherwise, you'd see his face on the front of this book. This is about you. This is about service to humanity. He has a full-time job. These are not going to be flying off the shelves and making him rich. That's not what it's about. What's in these teachings, I wish to bring out into the world here in these videos. It's free. Everyone should have access to these texts. There are references that take you to the original teachings all the way through. It is over 1,000 pages, 1,300 pages. It's 4 volumes. The 4th one is a reference manual. It's a study manual. These are instructions. Theosophy is in here. Philosophy is in here. It's all here. Science, science, science. If you're looking for the answers, they're out there. But the most important thing is what you do with the answers that you find. And I must tell you that no matter how much I study, no matter how much I apply, I come away with far more questions than answers. And I realize how very little I thought I knew, if anything at all. But I'm simply here to share this with you because there are some of you here who get this. And if you'd like to be a part of this study series, we do it every Sunday. And I'm grateful to have you here. And I love you. And I'll see you next week. Please leave your comments and questions down below. I'd like to be more interactive with you. I love you. Have a great rest of your Sunday.